I want to welcome everyone to Commissioners Court and keeping with tradition. And as always, we have Brother Dan Rogers with us to lead us in the invocation, and Commissioner McCann, the pledges.
Would you bow with me, please? Father, we come before you today on a beautiful fall day in November, a very important day in our country, a very important day in our state and in this county for those of us to be able to exercise the right, the responsibility, and the freedom to be able to vote and have representation in our government. Father, we ask especially here with the Commissioners Court that you bless these men and women who represent us, that you will help them to be wise, that you will help them to be fair in their decisions. We pray for all those who work and volunteer within our county, that you will keep them safe. Thank you so much for those who provide our safety and security for us, and those who work in our hospitals and all the other ways in which the county represents us and works for us and with us. Father, we pray that you will just bless us now, for it's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Brother Rogers, thank you, sir. All right, well, the time is 9:01, and we do have a quorum, so we will call this meeting to order. Are there any citizens' comments?
No, sir.
Okay. Item 1, consider and take action on minutes from previously held meeting of Commissioners Court on November the 1st, 2022. Are there any additions, deletions, or comments?
Hearing none, Judge, I move we approve the minutes of the Commissioners Court regular session November 1st, 2022, as presented.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Tootley and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the minutes of November the 1st, 2022 as presented. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Item number 2 is consider and take action on an amendment between, an agreement between the Henderson County Sheriff's Office and the Dallas Field Division Task Force Group in Tyler. Sheriff.
Good morning, Court. This is our annual agreement that we've been doing probably since around 2010, 2011 with the DEA. It's a DEA task force we are a member of, and we have one investigator that is housed in Tyler, works with the DEA, and then works back here in Henderson County when investigations come this way. It's a good asset to be a part of this group. They do help us out tremendously, and they do reimburse up to $17,000 a year in overtime for overtime that's worked for that one investigator. And we are just asking to continue the agreement, and if the court chooses so, it does take my signature.
Questions for the sheriff? Sheriff, how long we've been doing this?
Since around 2010, 2011.
Okay. Any further questions? Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion with a sheriff's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner McCann to approve the agreement between the Henderson County Sheriff's Office and the Dallas Field Division Task Force Group in Tyler with sheriff's authorization to sign. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Item 3 is consider and take action on conference reimbursement request for Constable Precinct 4. Ms. Lee?
The constable went to a conference recently, but he didn't request a purchase order before, so the funds were not encumbered. By law, I have to have the funds encumbered to pay the bill. And since it wasn't done, the only other way I can apply for this reimbursement is for the commissioners for approval to do so. There is a budget amendment that will be attached with this. It was pretty well out of all of this markets. Take $360 out of this Leo's fund. I was thinking that the week is Leo's fund. He still needs another $526
And those, the proposed amendments are further down in the
Yes.
agenda. This is just giving the request,
Right.
to approve the request for reimbursement.
Did he not have any money in his conference and education,
We
or?
only give him $100 a year. We've given him several conferences this year.
I think he was behind on a lot of his stuff from being out. He went
Yeah.
to several conferences this year.
Yeah, he was unable to get his normal training due to the accident that he was involved in, and this was a way to get him caught up to those statutory requirements.
But he did have money in his budget, you can move on.
Yes.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for the reimbursement request for Constable Precinct 4.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the conference reimbursement request for Constable Precinct 4 is presented. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Item number 4 is consider and take action on a special road use indemnity agreement and permit with Trailer Sundant Joint Venture in regards to Joe Andrews Road, Forehand Road, Lovers Lane, which is County Road 1300, and I believe there's a portion of League Line Road located in Precinct 1. Commissioner?
Yes, Court. This is the Tarrant Regional Water District with their underground tunnel. This is just saying that they're going to be using my roads, Precinct 1 roads, and that they're saying they're going to fix them when they're finished. And I've worked with these gentlemen in the past a lot, and they always are willing to do what's right, and the roads are great that they've used so far and we've redone. But I don't think I have any part of North League Line Road on there. I think that's the city of Trinidad. But the other roads are precinct ones.
Is there representatives here?
Yes, there's two.
Yeah. If you please come forward and introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself to the court again, and offer yourselves for questions.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Matt Gaughan. I'm a consultant for Tarrant Regional Water District on the pipeline project. We got,
Good morning. My name's Josh Bunting. I'm with Trailer Sun.
And I'm Ed Weaver with Tarrant Regional Water District, and I'm right now working as the IPL Program Manager. So,
In the application that you presented, we appreciate that. You're offering up, is it insurance for surety?
Yes, yes, sir, but they're, we've already made an agreement when they get finished, or we're gonna go fix the road and they're gonna pay for the materials.
But the county's interest is secured by that insurance agreement in case you do not get back to fix the road.
yes, sir. The county has the two options, the bond or the insurance, and the contractor opting for the insurance for this program.
I know that in previous relations and previous portions of this, you worked very well with Precinct 1, and Commissioner, I believe you had experience with the earlier portions.
Yes, sir.
Old River Ranch
Forehand Road and Joe Andrews.
and Joe Andrews. Okay. All right. And about how long are we looking at for this project?
Yeah, it's going to be like 2025, I believe.
For this segment of the project?
Well, we're going to spread out all over the place, right all over the county. We got all the way from Trinidad to Frankston.
I give them, sorry, I should have been more specific. For what is being presented here, the locations that are being presented here, how long a period of time are we looking at of trucks running, so forth and so on, considering what you have before us today, not the rest of the...
Yeah, I guess the simple answer is we're starting to lay pipe on the west side of the job, which is that Forehand Road, Joe Andrews Road. We started laying pipe there this week. We're going to move to the east, and so as we move to the east, we'll be finishing up. So lay pipe, we got to revegetate the ground and get everything finished up and cleaned up again. It'll be finishing from west to east.
But yeah, through 2025, there'll be work ongoing use of the road.
There you
through
go.
2025, yes, sir.
Through 2025, this portion will be under truck usage.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Court? I'll extend on, because I know you're headed to precinct 4. The total project will be that 25 once you even go further, or will it extend longer, the IPL project?
We'll come back to court for, this contractor has a limited scope, certain projects. We will have future projects that will further impact precinct 1 and precinct 4, and we'll come back to court at that time. Our overall to finish is end of 2027.
2027, okay. Any further questions? Oh, I'm sorry.
They've got a scope of work that they send us, and I don't know if you're included in it or not, where they're located and what the predictions are of when their timeframe's going to be, when they're moving on to a different section and stuff that we looked at. They send it out about once a month, once a month
Yes, sir.
report that you send, and gives us a heads up where they are and what their plans are. So,
Is this the same contractor that was on the first portion?
No, sir.
Not the contractor, but these two gentlemen have been on board the whole time.
Yeah, I recognize.
No, that's fine. I try to stay under the radar as much as I can.
Well, I know that Commissioner Hayes had good relations, and so our current commissioner did as well during that time, and it worked rather well, better than I thought it would. So, and
We
that's
have an
much
endeavor
appreciated.
to start that early, we're to eliminate, try to head off any surprises or unknowns, that type of thing. Just be as open as we can on when things are happening and what the impacts are going to be.
Thank you, we appreciate that. Any other questions, court? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the special use agreement and permit in regards to Joe Andrews Road, Forehead Road, Lovers Lane, which is also County Road 1300, located in Precinct 1, with Commissioner and the judge's authorization to sign.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey, second by Commissioner Richardson, to approve the special road use indemnity agreement as presented. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Item 5 is consider and take action on the 2022 annual financial report from Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 3 for filing purposes only, located in Precinct 4.
Yes, Court. By statute, every year, the ESDs have to file a audit report, and if they don't owe or have cash on hand over $250,000, they can file an exemption with their, from having a full audit done. And this is what ESD 3 is presented to us here, and it's in your backup.
Questions for the Commissioner? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 2022 annual financial report from Henderson County Emergency Service District Number 3 for filing purposes only.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner McCam, to approve the 2022 annual financial report from Henderson County Emergency District Number 3 for filing purposes only. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Item number 6 is consider and take action to appoint 3 members to the Emergency Service District Board Number 3 Board of Directors for a 2-year term ending December 31, 2024, located in Precinct 4. Commissioner.
Yes, Board. I have three positions that's coming open for reappointment on ESD Board Number 3, and actually one of them that's been on it since the existence of ESD 3, Alan Terrell. He's decided that he was going to get off the board, so I'll be replacing him with one gentleman, and those will be Joe Burgamy and Larry Dunn for reappointments, and appointing Charles Presley to the ESD board with the terms ending December the 31st of 2024.
Questions for the Commissioner? Hearing none, entertain that motion.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Joe Burgamy, Larry Dunn, and Charles Presley to the ESD Board Number 3 for a 2-year term ending December the 31st, 2024.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson and second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the appointments of Joe Bergamy, Larry Dunn, and Charles Presley to 2-year terms for the ESD Number 3 Board of Commissioners for terms ending December 31, 2024. All those in favor? Item passes unanimously. Item 7 is receive financial reports. We have the combined JP, county, and district reports, which are available for viewing after court in the county clerk's office if you wish. Item 8 is consider and take action on payroll disbursements and accounts cash sheet. We have none. Item 9, consider and take action on submitted contracts. There are none. Item 10 is consider and take action on request for right-of-way permits, and I believe we have 3 or 2.
We have one in precinct 1 and one in precinct 3.
Commissioner Spivey.
Yes, Court, this is the same group. This is just to get the right-of-way permit. They're going to be cutting the road and putting a tunnel in the road, under the road, and I forgot to put this in the backup, but I do have their check for both permits for boring, or not boring, but cutting the road. And he's here still if there's any more questions. They are going to make a bypass on both of these to go around while they work.
Okay.
On Forehand and County Road 1300.
Questions, court? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make the motion to approve the right-of-way permit on Forehand Road and County Road 1300 with Tarrant Regional Water District located in Precinct 1 with the Commissioner's authorization to sign.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and second by Commissioner Tooley to approve the right-of-way request from Precinct 1. It's so long. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Commissioner McCann.
I have one in Precinct 3. It's on County Road 3300, Encore Electric Delivery. They're putting a new line in. They want to put a temporary culvert in and reshape the bank where they can get to that distribution line. And then whenever the job is completed, they will remove the culvert and reshape the bank.
Questions for the Commissioner? Entertain the motion.
I move that we grant the proposed utility line activity to Encore Electric Delivery for County Road 3300.
I'll second.
With Commissioner's signature.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the right-of-way agreement with Encore Electric Delivery for a temporary access culvert on County Road 3300 with Commissioner's authorization to sign. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Thank you. Item 11, consider and take action on budget amendments. Ms. Lee.
Yes, I do have those today. Of course, I do have one for the constable. In addition, I went ahead and moved all your revenues that had been posted to miscellaneous income into your road materials.
Questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Tooley and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the budget amendments as presented. All those in favor? Item passes unanimously. We've had a request to move to submitted plats due to time constraints. So I'm going to move to item 13, which is consider and take action on submitted plats.
We have two, one in precinct 1 and one in precinct 4.
Okay, let's go with precinct 1.
Okay, Court, this subdivision plat has come to court before under a different name, and it did not pass. It was denied due to all the variances and it not meeting our rules and regulations. And with the new legislative law passed, now they don't do preliminary plats and final plats anymore. It just goes one time before the court, and you have to, when they submit it, you have to have it to court within 30 days or it's automatically approved. And this one was dropped off kind of in a quick fashion on October 12th. So I'm bringing it to court today because if I don't do it today, then we run out of time. There's 2 developers working on this project. One of them is trying to do things quickly and not the right way, and the other one is trying hard to make the right calls and do the right things. When this plat was presented on October 12th, it didn't have near enough stuff with it. It wasn't complete, but due to the timeline, within this last week, the developer, Mr. Albright, has tried hard to get everything to us, and it's just been kind of in a rush. I got most of the stuff last Thursday at noon to put on here. I have the county engineer. Could he come up and speak some?
Morning, George and Judge in Court. Like Commissioner Spivey said, this has been before court before. This is not as many lots as it was before. It's 8 lots, and this is lakefront property, so they're kind of triangular shaped, skinny in the front, big in the back. There's 9 variances. Again, there's eight lots, and there's 8 variances for lot width, so they're all skinny in the front, which is not unusual. There's 1 variance for curbs, and there's 1 more variance that we thought of yesterday for the road width. There'll be other roads in the future, but regardless, it's about 2,000 feet now off of Avant, and then they're going to build another road, but even with that other road, it's still more than 600 feet long to the end of the cul-de-sac. So we need a variance for the length. One issue that came up last time is that, and this is kind of weird, where it's only the left-hand side of the road, the right-hand side would be another development. And we thought, well, how can we approve a development which we didn't have a full right-of-way? Yeah, that's because if the other development never came along, then you don't have a right-of-way for the road, you know. So, you know, attached to this, he has got an easement that would, you know, give an easement all the way up to, you know, to the development, so we could feel good about, we're approving the plat, it's going to have a right-of-way. And when the other development comes in across the road, you know, it'll be platted as a full road right-of-way.
Would this require a construction bond? Because we don't have that either.
Yes. We've done that before. Thanks for reminding me. But we've not done it on such a small project. But that's going to be kind of. It's going to become a standard of anyone. We've only done that once, I think, and it was a big.
Precinct 4.
Another one that was, I don't know if we actually ever even did it. It was just for a week. I went over in Cedar Creek Lake. So this would need a construction bond, because they're going to build some stuff, and we don't have a preliminary final plat, so we have to do the bond to guarantee that they'll actually do what they say they're going to do. Now, with the new rules, unfortunately, we'll have to do that every time, which will just add extra stuff to everything else we have to do, unfortunately. So I like the old system better, but we are where we are. Anyway, like Commissioner Spivey said, we'd have to have a road bond, which, you know, brings in a bunch of more logistics with that.
Also, the paperwork that was filed on October 13th by one of the developers, it has the old name that they were trying to go by before, Driftwood Farm, Phase 2. So half of the papers have that, and half of it have the Groves Phase 1. The Groves Phase 1 is what they're going to call it, because it's going to be a gated subdivision when the other one comes in. And I really would like to see a construction bond get done and clean these up. I'm just not real happy with it today.
Can I speak a little bit to some of your
Yes. I guess.
Please come forward.
Good morning, Court. My name is Aaron Albright. I'm actually the sole developer on this project. I'm good. Yourself? You as well. Brad Thurman, we partnered with way back when, which may have been error in our judgment, knowing what we know now. But, you know, for 2 years, we've been working real hard with West Cedar Creek Mud and TVEC to really get this thing off the ground. I guess we kind of got the horse, or the cart before the horse on this one, where we probably should have come here first and then worked with the mud. But there's a lot of really good things to this development that don't exist anywhere else around the lake. And we have a central lift station for 8 lots, which is a very large expense that we're taking on versus individual pumps for each one of these houses. We do have full 60-foot right-of-way easement rights from the end of our development all the way to Avant Road. And the public right-of-way is 28 feet, so we're doing a lot there. And in addition, outside of that right-of-way, we have additional space for easements. So in total, we're looking at almost 100 feet of dedicated area to either the franchise utilities, the wet utilities, or the county right-of-way. So I believe we're working really hard. I apologize if there's errors in the nomenclature of the paperwork. It was our intention. We were kind of on the last hour. I have a partner that is a little bit more eager. I appreciate working with Commissioner Spivey and your county engineer to get there, but I think we're there. I really do. I think this is a very representative development where you're going to see, people there for 45 days a year. So it's going to be, second homes. It's going to be a payer community. I think it's very representative of the lake. So if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them now.
I was looking through here and I didn't see the will serve for the TVAC or the electricity.
I believe when Brad talked to the county's sanitary guy, can't remember his name, he told us to call him.
Danny,
thank you. He was told we didn't need that, but if we do, I'll get Dustin to sign you one for next time.
Okay.
Mr. Wilson has previous experience in another county, and that may have been a pullover from that county.
Okay.
But in this instance, he is solely directly on-site sewer only.
Okay. I will have TVAC issue a will serve for our next submission.
Okay.
But
I know you're trying.
will TVAC issue a will serve?
The way I understand it from Dustin Talent is for them to issue a will serve, we have to cut them a check for the entirety of the infrastructure there.
Yeah, and before you get that, you have to pay for everything up.
Which
you have
is
to pay them out.
challenging as construction costs are right here, and we're
Yeah.
seeing, 4 months, we're hoping they're right here, but we'll see.
But would if they do get a surety bond, would that cover the will serve deal if they got the bond to cover the cost of the electrical?
In
Water.
that particular case, we've only done, due to what was said earlier, since we no longer can use the preliminary plat to ensure the processes. I'm trying to remember what the statute says regarding that, because we've always looked at it as an infrastructure, when the purpose of the plat is for total assurance to the prospective buyers that they will have a complete subdivision. So I'm not sure, but I know in this particular instance, the quote-unquote vendor, which would be TVAC or Encore, they have their rules.
Yeah, they won't issue a will serve until they paid the money up front to buy the equipment.
Right, and it'd be out of our venue, because to get the plat approved, we have to have that letter regardless.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge. I have had many conversations with Dustin, with TVAC about this. He's not really comfortable or familiar with the process either. I'm doing additional development in Precinct 2, where we hope to be in front of this court in a couple weeks as well. Much development, I promise. But we've been working through those issues as well. In regards to the surety also recommend potentially the county be more comfortable with the irrevocable letter of credit, as it's a much less hassle if the bond ever came into effect with the irrevocable letter of credit. That's what our surety recommended.
Well, the issue here is the timeline that's before us. Now, we can take steps today in this because there are things missing. It just means that we'll have another 30 days after the next filing to meet the deficiencies. Is that what I'm seeing here?
I believe so, and I do want to tell you I appreciate you coming to me and communicating well with me. you did say you parted ways with Mr. Thurman, but he's the one that filed this.
We haven't parted ways. Brad, Mr. Thurman is a builder who we partnered with, and I'm not a developer by trade. I work for a company, so we looked at his nice development across the way, which ran afoul with everyone, said he's a good guy to partner with. We still have some contractual obligations to Mr. Thurman, so we're making him do the busy work. I apologize again for my candor there, but I will file it next time. Mr. Thurman will. You won't have to see him anymore, I promise.
Well, he pretty much opened the door on October 12th, chunked it in and ran. And so that's kind of what I've been working with until you got back with me.
Okay. Apologies.
And like I say, I appreciate you trying to do the right thing, and I look forward to getting this back here correctly and not just rush. Just let's do it the right way from day one when we file it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm sure you're very pressed for time. Is it possible that you guys give us some feedback on the variances we've requested?
And that is a part of what we will do in the reasons for not taking action today.
Sure.
But there's a litany of reasons that I could run down through. The density issue with the curb and gutter, that is a true runoff situation there. Statutes are written the way they are about TCEQ rules on density. I look here now on one part of it, the section, 42 feet of right-of-way at the end at Avant.
That is bracketed by private owners, one of them being West Cedar Creek Mud. They won't deed any land to the county. They will allow easements, but the only utility we have going out there is a 2-inch force main. Water comes in from the north of the property.
Yeah. Done. Commissioner?
I will have to, for reasons discussed, I'd have to deny the approval of the plat today,
Okay.
hoping it comes back cleaner and better.
I'll be in your office.
And for the variance issues and the other, because we must give a list
Yes,
of
sir.
reasons as to why.
Tyler and I will get together and get the list sent to you within a day or two.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you. Can we have a motion?
I would like to make the motion to deny the approval of the Groves Phase 1.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey, second by Commissioner Richardson, to deny the plat for Grove Phase 1 as presented with a list of discrepancies forthcoming.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously.
Thank you, Court.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Yes, Gord, I have a replat in Elmwood Edition, Unit 1. They're wanting to take lots 3 and 4 and replat them. There's a cyclone fence that goes between the two lots. They're both owned by the same owner, and I think they're going to build a mother-in-law house on one, and they're wanting to go ahead, they having it resurveyed and putting the boundary between the two lots on the fence that's there at this time. Looks like they're just moving the center boundary by a few feet. So,
Questions for the Commissioner? Entertain the motion.
I'd like to make a motion to replat lots 3 and 4 in the Elmwood Edition Unit 1, creating lots 3-R and 4-R located in Precinct 4 for filing purposes only.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner McCam to approve the replat in the Elmwood Edition, replatting lots 3 and 4, Block 1 into 3R and 4R. All those in favor of the motion? For filing purposes only, sorry. Item passes unanimously. All right, thank you for bearing with us. We're going to move back up to item 12, which is consider and take action on payment of bills.
Yes, sir, we have 2 sets. Our first set is fiscal year 2023 in the amount of $247,968.
Court, questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Spivey and second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the 2023 bills in the amount of $247,968 and no pennies. All those in favor? Item passes unanimously.
In the fiscal year 2022, the amount of $245,386.34.
Commissioner Spivey, questions?
I have no questions, Judge.
Commissioner Taylor?
On Danny Wilson, on page 1, is that what we pay him for?
Complaints, aren't they, that he has to go check on?
Huh?
Complaints, I think.
Oh, for complaints. So every time somebody calls in for a complaint, that's all I have, Judge.
Commissioner McCamp?
I have none.
Commissioner
No
Richardson?
question, Judge.
Entertain.
2 bills in the amount of $245,386.34 as presented.
I'll second his motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Spivey to approve the 2022 bills in the amount of $245,386.34. All those in favor of the motion? Item passes unanimously. Item 14 is open and consider bids.
Good morning. I have the request for changes on the 21 tire bid. One Stop was the only vendor that actually submitted a request for change. They had, I believe it was 11 tires that, tire sizes, excuse me, that they wanted to submit changes on. I sent over an Excel spreadsheet that had those changes on them. As far as the other vendors, I sent emails to them. I did follow up with calls to make sure that they did receive the notification and remind them that we were on a pretty tight deadline to get this information in. And like I said, One Stop was the only one that got anything over to us.
And this is a continuation, kind of going off of last week's discussion. This
Yes,
is a
sir.
stopgap to get us between now and in 2 months till we rebid.
Yes, sir, the end of this year, December 31st. So these will only be from now until December 31st. ADT, American Tire Distributors, and Southern Tire Mart did respond. However, theirs was just that they are going to be interested in submitting a bid for the 2023 tire bid, but they did not need to make any changes between now and the end of the year.
Questions?
I have a question, but I don't know if it I know it doesn't pertain to this. But in the end of December 31st, when we go out to do the rebids or the new bids, I guess I'll say, is there a way that we can put in our bid to say that if they give us an off-brand, and I'm just going to throw this name out there because it's not a tire, but an Apache 22.5, and they send us a Cherokee 22.5, can they, if that is a tire, that Cherokee tire is on another bid and it's the same size tire, can we have them make sure that they label that on their invoice?
Okay, when you say it's on another bid, like if it's on a
Co-op, buy board?
we can, if it's not something that's on our bid, we can utilize co-ops, state contracts, other.
That's not what I'm
yes.
saying. Is can we require them on the invoice, if they don't get the tire that's on our bid and they go find another tire that's the same size on a co-op or buy board, that they put in parentheses where they found that tire? Because his problem is he's got 4 tires in his shop that he can't use, but they're the tires that he can use, but they're not on a buy board or our Henderson County bid.
The way that we have to go about procuring those, we have to, depending on which co-op it is, say that it's buy board, since that's the one we brought up. We have to obtain a quote from that vendor, upload that quote and our purchase order to buy board. Buy board has to go through whatever it is that they do. Once they approve it, then they send their approval, the copy of the quote, and our purchase order to the vendor. Then the vendor can send us the tires. So if we've already taken possession of the tires and those steps haven't been gone through, then it doesn't work.
I agree with that. All I'm saying is if they do all that stuff up front, I mean, I don't know, it's a frustrating deal, and you know I get frustrated.
Absolutely.
But I'm trying to figure out, he didn't know that they delivered them. And they wasn't on that specific tire wasn't on the buy board, or on our bid list. If they made sure, if Southern Tire Mart wanted to be a tire vendor for us, they would have to make sure that the tires that they deliver are on our list, or the buy board, or they have to say, hey.
They have to be on our list. If they're not on our list, then we need to take a step back and go, okay, where do we go? Let's find a way that either, one, they find the tire that is on our list, or two, we find a tire that is the size that he needs on a co-op or contract, or some way that we can legally procure them.
We are the Southern Tire Mart.
We.
Okay.
There's not some kind of rule in there that they can substitute like, kind, and quality?
Not that I've been able to find, no.
If it's the same price or less than their bid? Oh, it's got to be in there somewhere.
We have looked, and I have asked other procurement professionals, people that have done it for a lot longer than I have, and
Tire guys don't work in legislation.
I guess they don't have big enough
Bid laws
lobby up there.
revamped.
Well, I mean, I think that we put our guy on notice that if it ain't on our bid list, that he just can't make a sale and send us something. But it's
like I called for one tire this week, and they didn't have it, is out of it, and said it'd be, a couple weeks where they can get it. And so he asked me if there were steer tires, drive tire, and there's steer, and he said, well, they've got them on buy board, this Firestone here, so, and he had it in stock. So I said, well, just put the buy board number on the invoice on there, and it wasn't on our bid, but it was on the buy board bid, and he sent it. But on the backhoe tires that I got, I said, well, what about the backhoe tires on buy board? He said, they're Firestones or Bridgestones to the state, and he said, we don't have them. So he couldn't honor that.
so that's what I'm saying right there is what he just did.
but we have to, even though it's on buy board, there's still a process that has to be gone through buy board. Them just sending them, there's another process that has to go through. Commissioner Spivey and the sheriff had trailer tires that weren't on, the size of the tires weren't on our bid list. So I found them on one was a state contract, one was a co-op. But we have to follow the contract laws, the contract rules, the co-op rules to be able to utilize them. If we're not following their rules, then they're not going to honor it. They're not going to allow us to use their contracts.
Used to, we didn't even have contracts with, or bids on tires. When I first started here, wasn't no tire bids. We just bought straight off the buy board list. from Southern Tire Mart for a long time. And then we started doing this bid, invitation for bid on tires, so some of the locals could bid on tires and stuff.
And that's the court's decision. If they only want to buy straight from, buy board or straight from contracts, we can do that instead of
So
bidding.
what's the rules? How do we need to go if they don't have it on the bid and we go through the buy board then? So we just don't send it on the buy board deal? We're a member of the buy board, aren't we?
Yes.
So we had to go through a different procedure to get that tire?
The purchase order has to be issued, uploaded on Buy Board's website. Buy Board does whatever it is that they do. The PO is then sent to the vendor, and then the vendor will ship the product.
That's all changed. We didn't used to do it that way. We just called order tires, gave them a PO number, so.
You know, that is one thing that over the years, there has been legislative changes and so forth. It's been a long time since we have seen the actual bid cap raised. It's been over 20 years, or right at 20 years, hasn't it?
No, it used to be at 25,000. And 3 or 4 years ago, they moved it up to 50,000. Well, I started at 25,000. And it was 25,000 for years.
I thought it went, well, anyway.
It still needs to be redone.
It does need to be redone. You know, when the inflation has caused all of these items to move out of our reach, that lengthens the process. But this gets us through until, for 2
January 1.
months, till January 1. And it looks like a good representation of tires here, so we should be able to get anything that we need with this list in the short run. Just when I look over it. Everything from maintainer tires, truck tires.
Well, my tire was an emergency that blew the sidewall out, but I bought 2 tires instead of 1, so I messed up.
So, any further comments? Entertain a motion on this item.
What does this motion need to consist
Approve the
of?
request for the increase for one-stop tires.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner McCam, second by Commissioner Richardson to approve the one-stop
Tires request.
tire request for price change
Yes.
as presented. All those in favor of that motion? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Jennifer.
One stop.
Item 15, consider and take action to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Tooling, second by Commissioner Spivey to adjourn at 9:49. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much.